They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Look for my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dumb it.
Guys, welcome back to the channel. So, can't see that. So today, I've got a really cool video for you. Kevin decided to put a treadmill and a TV in the garage because he's gonna do cardio out here. However, joke's on him, it gets really freaking cold out here. But before I get into today's video, I kind of want to show you guys what I actually bring to the track. So just in case anyone's wondering, or for people that are gonna start going to the track and they kind of wonder, should I bring anything? You look kind of stupid for bringing all the stuff you bring. Well, here's what I bring. So I typically bring 10 gallons of fuel and I get the car up to half. So I've got to put 5 gallons in here. So I'm probably going to add like 5 gallons of Ignite E90 to the car, and then I'll bring about 10 gallons of fuel. I'm actually almost done with this drum, but my buddy Chase is going to bring me 5 gallons to the track, so we'll be good. I've got this fan. I actually got this on Amazon. These are the style of fans. I forget what they're called, but these are the style of fans that they use to like dry out carpets and stuff when you get them cleaned. They work really good and they blow super hard. And we put this one typically on the trans. If for some reason the car's really hot, we can put it on the car, but I typically just use that one for the trans. I've got an extension cord for that because I actually run this off my truck and it runs it just fine. Since it's been getting cold out, I bring some coolant. I've got a bunch of leftover coolant from my Hellcat, so this is like some Mopar, super expensive coolant. But anyways, I always bring coolant, 1 quart of oil, and then a thing of transmission fluid. That should pretty much cover me if anything happens. Obviously, if I run super low on oil, I probably should not be running the car, but we did check the oil last night and the oil is looking good. I bring this big cooler. Now, some people might say I should spend more and get like a Yeti or an Arctic or any of those coolers, but actually these coolers work really well. I had an Arctic and it actually got stolen, so I went and bought a cheap one because I wasn't gonna buy another $300 cooler just to get stolen. This one's about like 40, 50 bucks at Walmart, and actually I've had this all day. Joe uses the same one. I've had this thing filled up all day and it still doesn't melt till the next day, especially with it being cooler out. But I did have this out in the summer and it lasted me all day. So 50 bucks. And then I got this ice scooper. This is like the big 64 ounce scooper. I got that scooper. And then this tray is actually to drain the water out of the ice tank. So I bring all of this stuff, and then I'll show you guys up front what else I bring. Okay, so I also bring 2 jack stands, and luckily my brother owns a Demon, so I just steal his Demon bag typically. We have another jack, but it's nice because this Demon bag has the jack in it, it's got a torque wrench, and it has an impact gun all in this bag. And I typically keep this bag in the truck and locked because obviously some super nice stuff. But anyways, I'll probably be getting my own impact gun. That's like the only thing I don't have. I have a torque wrench, I have a jack, but I don't have an impact gun, so it's nice to take this box just to have it. I typically don't even use this stuff, but it's one of those things that you should just have. I got my pants. So let me, before I take the car out of the garage, I always make sure I have my pants, race jacket, and helmet in the car. Don't want to move them. I try and actually keep those in the car at all times. You should typically wash those, but it's nice to have them just in the car so you don't forget that kind of stuff. But yeah, you can always wash them like after the weekend, but after you wash them, I'd throw them right back in the car so you don't lose them or forget to bring them. This is kind of just my toolbox setup. Everything in here is kind of super random, but you never know when you would need it. I've got like some stuff to fix some tire flats, like valve stems, maybe you break a valve stem or even a little piece in it. Some hose clamps, valve stem remover, extra battery terminal, lighter, another extra battery terminal, just some odds and ends, some butt connectors. Those are mainly because I switched the stock battery out, so that way I can put the stock battery back in if I need to. Tons of zip ties, because you know my car is pretty much held together by zip ties. Obviously just a crazy assortment of tools. I have some nicer tools in the back, but I don't want to bring those because it's a pain in the butt to switch back and forth. The only thing I do bring from the back is my larger 1/2-inch drive stuff with the ratchet and one big extension. And then I've got like, just like I said, like an array of tools, just random assortment, small stuff here and there, some gloves, some wire strippers, some cutters, some plumber's tape, electrical tape, bungee cords. I bring all these extra spare AN fittings that I have. You just never know when you need this stuff. And obviously, I may need a fitting that's not even in here, but maybe someone else will have a fitting I need, and I can actually trade them, you know? because these things are expensive. These are like 20-30 bucks a piece. So if someone has a fitting I need, maybe they'll take one that I have in trade, or just give them some cash. So I always bring those AN fittings. I bring this whole box of vacuum tees because obviously it's a turbo system. There's a lot of vacuum lines and a lot of tees, and they like to break. I'm about to actually show you something really cool that I just got from Motion Raceworks that's going to replace all these crappy vacuum lines and plastic tees, but these are always still a good thing to have just in case. Some couplers, because I do have a lot of couplers on the car, some V-bands and T-bolt clamps, some extra vacuum lines, bearing cover for the trailer. Obviously, I have bad luck with trailers. An extra, now you might look at this and say, why do you have this switch? This is a Hobbs switch, which actually turns on my 2 extra fuel pumps in the back. So I've got 3 fuel pumps. One is the main one, and the other 2 turn on under vacuum. And those switches, I thought I had a bad one, but I didn't, and I didn't return this because it's always good to have a backup. Obviously, some fuses and random other stuff. You can never have too many tools at the track. However, this is kind of like what I would think I would need. You know, sometimes you may get lucky and someone at the track, usually there's super nice people at the track that'll help you out. So if you don't have something, you can typically borrow something, but these are kind of like the basic stuff that I would always bring, just like your regular tools, screwdrivers, flatheads, wrenches, sockets, hammer, just your basic stuff. You never know what you may need. So that's everything with all of that stuff. And let me show you one of the things I just got in for the Mustang that I actually ordered after speaking with you guys on the last video, and then I'll show you the new parts that I just got from Motion Raceworks. So then obviously I just bring this little tire inflator, but I got this super nice NoCo Genius battery charger tender. So this one does lithium batteries and AGM, which is super nice because the battery on the Mustang right now is an AGM battery, and if I ever switch to like a Braille lithium, this charger will still work. So this thing's got a bunch of different modes, and these are super nice because they will not overcharge your system, and which actually can ruin your electrical system. So I got one of these. I think they're like 170, 180 on Amazon. This is the little bit nicer one. They do sell a bunch of different variations, but I did get that super nice charger. So thanks to my buddy James for recommending that one, and thanks to everyone else for recommending chargers. That's just the one I ended up going with. So don't mind the box. I was always that kid that when I got Christmas presents, I would just throw everything everywhere when I opened packages. But I wanted to show you guys everything that I just got from MotionRaceWorks.com. Huge thanks to my buddy Doug over there and everybody else at Motion Raceworks. Please check them out. They make some of the highest quality products, and it's racing specific. It's super awesome stuff. But this is their brand new billet catch can. And what I like about this one is it pretty much can work for every car. So the bracket, as you can see, you might not be able to see because I'm using the GoPro, but I'm gonna do an actual install video on this stuff, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys to get you excited. But you can move the bracket around here. It's got a bunch of different holes, and then you can also swivel the fittings, so you can just turn this around and move the fittings elsewhere. So these are 10 AN, which is what I already have. So this is gonna line up perfectly. Super nice bracket, it's billet. It does have a drain valve for the bottom, which is in the box, so we can easily drain the catch can system. You really wanna make sure you drain these. I cannot stress enough, drain your catch cans. You don't want those problems. So you can see I have a cheap little crappy catch can, which has kind of worked for now. It's not in the best spot. It doesn't have a super nice bracket. I kind of rigged it in there, but what's annoying is I had to get super nice, expensive, like 90-degree and 45-degree fittings to make that one work. But now, since this one can swivel and move around, we can pretty much set the catch can wherever we need it to, and then run the lines to it. So I cannot wait to install this. This is a super nice piece. They're really well priced too. 189 bucks, I think, just for the catch can. And then it just depends on all the other stuff you want to add on. I got the kit because I just wanted to make sure I had everything that I needed. Super, super nice. It's billet. You know, these regular catch cans, they are like painted or powder coated, and that stuff scratch. That stuff will scratch no matter what. This is super nice billet. This stuff will not scratch. It's gonna look super good. Usually a catch can isn't something you show off, but this is something I would love to show off. So if you guys want to pick this up, MotionRaceWorks.com. You can message those guys if you're interested in something and tell them I sent you over. What else I got, and this is what the video is titled, no, I did not get nitrous for my Mustang, but I am finally putting the car on CO2. Unfortunately, I don't have time to get this done before this weekend, but the car will be on CO2. The reason for that is we can really control the boost levels very accurately with the CO2 and with the boost controller system. So as you guys know, I'm having a little bit of boost controller problems right now, and kind of to minimize some of that is to switch to a CO2 system. Some of this stuff might be leaking. We don't know for sure. We have pressure tested the system, but it may have a small leak somewhere. So we're gonna switch to CO2. We can control the pressure that's in the lines, plus all of the plastic fittings that I was talking about. Now we're gonna have super nice metal fittings. So look at these. These are super high quality metal fittings. This is for a twin wastegate system because I do have dual 44mm wastegates on there. So this is made for the twin wastegates. So when you guys order this, because I know you're gonna go to MotionRaceWorks.com and order this system, if you have a turbo car, I highly recommend it. But you'll get to switch out all your fittings for these nice metal ones, and then they even provide the vacuum line for it. So just make sure that you specify if you have a single wastegate, twin wastegate, single turbo, twin turbo. That way they can make the kit for you. Some other stuff we have in here is the bracket, which is super nice. Whoa, almost knocked that over. Super nice. That way when I do get the roll cage here in a little bit, we can actually mount the bottle very nicely and very firmly to the roll cage, and then that way it can sit right behind me and easily accessible to turn the bottle on. Like I said in my last video, these bottles typically will last Joe. He's very good about keeping track of this stuff. He said it lasted him almost over a whole year, but I would obviously, like once a month, just check the pressure on it. But these things last a long time because the air is still staying in the system and very little bleeds off, if any. So like I said, it does come with all your super nice hardened vacuum line. No more of this like cheap rubber stuff. Where is one of them? There they are. These cheap like soft rubber vacuum lines. This is like hard plastic vacuum lines. Work really nice. Comes with a gauge up top. Be careful when you pull this out because it is plastic. They do have it in a nice box. Obviously, I just kind of tore the box apart. But super nice gauge to keep track of the pressure in the bottle. Very nice fittings. And then the drain valve for the catch can is in here, and I believe another bracket for it and another fitting in case I do need it. But I'm super excited to put this bottle on the Mustang. I'm really excited. No, I'm not putting nitrous on the car. I wonder how many people fell for that in the title. But huge shout to Doug, Motion Raceworks. Like I said, guys, they make some awesome products, and it's race specific stuff. It's so cool. They're really innovative, and they're really coming out with some products that is for the racer. Obviously, this is a street car, but I do race it, and these products really help me out. So if you guys want to, go over to MotionRaceWorks.com, pick yourself up a CO2 bottle and a whole CO2 system, and you should also pick up the new billet catch can. This can work. This catch can work on any vehicle. You can tailor it to any vehicle. You just need to get fittings to go to your valve cover or to tie into your PCV valve system. So like this catch can could work on the Trackhawk. It could work on the Demon, the Viper, the Hellcat, and it could work on this 8-second Mustang, which it's going to. So I will get an install video for you guys sometime next week on the catch can, and then we'll install the CO2 system when we get back next week, and we'll get going. But hopefully I will see you guys this weekend, Oklahoma City Street Car Takeover, and make sure you guys check out MotionRaceWorks.com. I'll see you guys on the next one.
They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. No pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon it. Tell me.